Peace. Peace and peace. Hope everyone's doing well. Yes, I'm back. Bro running his mouth today. Alright? Like I said, I generally do lives. I haven't done like videos in a minute. You know what I mean? I will post highlights from the lives, but I've been very, very busy with one-on-one coaching. I've been busy with a 7-day intense program that I've been running that is very productive. I will have some testimonials next week. Some people very anxious to give testimonials about their experience with this, and hopefully you'll be willing to sign up as well. But what I'm talking about today is different types of narcissists, right? There's a little confusion regarding types of narcissists, right? According to the Diagnostic Statistical Manual on Mental Disorders, Edition 5, the DSM-5, right? There's only one agreed upon type of narcissism, that's NPD. However, there are two types, as I mentioned, that are recognized. That is the overt, the over-the-top, grandiose type person. The look at me, I'm better than everybody. Look at my car, look at my house, look at my clothes, look at my watch. Them type of people, right? They're easy to recognize because they're so boisterous. And then there's the covert, the undercover, the sneaky, vulnerable narcissists, all right? The ones that where they cry and all that. Yeah, they're very, very manipulative. You got to watch those. Those are usually the ones that a lot of you have probably dealt with, all right? Because they're harder to recognize. But there are traits. There are other traits of narcissists that people attribute to being types, all right? But they're not necessarily types. I mean, technically, but not necessarily, all right? And they're not mentioned in the DSM-5, all right? They're only mentioned as traits. So, have you all ever dealt with, like, the pastors or the agency founders, the people who have these agencies for DV, they have agencies for children, and you think that they're like these community type people? You think that they're passionate about humanity and they really want to help elevate the vibration of the planet. They want to help individuals get back right. Be careful with a lot of these people, because me personally, I've had personal experiences with individuals who have agencies, who are getting all kinds of grants, who like run programs, all this kind of stuff. And these are very cold-hearted, egotistical, selfish people. They're doing this as a front. They're not actually good people. You feel me? They're pretending. They're putting on a performance, and they're getting attention for that. And because of that, a lot of people are not being helped. A lot of people are being harmed even more than they were prior to their experience with these narcissists. And what I specifically want to talk about is the communal narcissist. Yes, the communal narcissist. This is the narcissist, right, who pretends to be community-oriented, pretends to care about people. They want to help their kids. They want to help their mom. And usually, a lot of these people are trying to holler at the kid's mother on the down low. Right? Right? A lot of these people are touching on kids and all this kind of weird stuff. They're not what they claim to be, right? Because this is just an act. They're not really good people at all. And I've experienced a lot of them. I experienced one time a self-proclaimed father. All right, like, you know, the father in religion where they got the little white joints around. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was going through a very tough situation, and this person had previously showed me or pretended as if they really cared about me. They pretended as if they were on the same level. Yeah, I'm in the church and yada, yada, yada. And I go through this situation, right? And there was no help. Like, no help whatsoever. No compassion, no empathy, no nothing. Now, I've witnessed this same father, right, donate mad money to people. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time I attended a service at their church, and there was some guy from some country, I can't remember. I think it was like Nigeria or something like that. And this dude was like arrogant, egotistical, barely spoke to people as if he's like God himself. You know what I'm saying? And they donated all of this money to this person. And I'm like, wait a second. So you're taking resources that could be utilized in this community for people who really need it, for this grandiose person who's not even a kind-hearted person. You got to be careful with people like these. You got to be careful donating money to places like this. You got to be careful supporting people like this. They're like those people. I remember I saw a video one time where some knuckleheads, a couple little knuckleheads, went and bought like 200 double cheeseburgers, right? And they stood out in like a park, and they had a whole bunch of homeless people lined up, handing them out. But the whole time they got their cameras flashing, they videoing themselves what they're doing. 200. All right, I had to start over because I think that call that came in, I think that might have messed up the video. I don't know. I'm hoping it didn't. I hope it didn't mess up the volume. But like I said, these clowns, they had went and bought 200 double cheeseburgers, right? And they're videoing it and plastering it all over social media as if they're kind-hearted people. How do you know those homeless people wanted to be on video? How do you know those homeless people want everybody to know they're homeless? And you're doing all of this grandiose stuff to make it seem like you're doing something that's so humane and such a contribution to humanity that you have to video it and put it on social media. That's for your own ego. You're not a good person. You're not a good person at all. Just because you pretend to be that, you're not. Because a lot of times, your best contributions, your best charity is done in silence. It's done silently. You're not boasting about what you've done. And that's how you can recognize good from the bad. That's how you can recognize people who are really sincere. And so, like I said, pay close attention and be aware of these communal narcissism. That's what it is. It's easy to remember. Communal is community. They pretend to be something they're not. They pretend to be these charitable people. They pretend to be these good-hearted people. The devil does the same thing. The devil presents himself as an angel of light. So yes, communal narcissism, that is a trait. And that is sometimes what people consider a type. Like I said, though it's not technically a type, it's something that you want to be aware of. You want to be careful. You want to be careful of who you're supporting. You want to be careful of what causes you're donating to, what causes you're spending your time helping, because sometimes God is not even recognizing these places. It's like scripture says about those priests who make the long, drawn-out prayers. They all on the street corner, Lord, praise this, and yada, yada, yada. And these people are straight wicked. Ain't nothing good about them whatsoever. They're just pretending. They're acting. They're performers. So be aware. I'm making people more aware that narcissists are very sneaky. Some of them are very hard to recognize. All right? Yes, the overt, that's probably the one of the easiest to recognize. The overt, they're over the top. They're so grandiose. The malignant is the more violent. The malignant is what they call the dark triad. I think it's like narcissism, Machiavellianism, and pathology or pathologic or what is it? I'm sorry. I'm having a brain freeze right now. Oh, psychopathy, right? It's narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. That's the dark triad. That's what makes up the malignant. The malignant is the one that put hands on you. Yeah, right? Their risk of violence is high. Okay, they're the ones that use intimidation and stuff like that. So my point for saying that is I'm bringing light. I'm shedding light on the different types of traits, things that you should watch out for with a lot of these different narcissists, because there's a lot of different traits. There's maybe like 5 or 6 of them, I think. Okay. But the main ones that are recognized, there's only one diagnosis. According to the Diagnostic Statistical Manual for Mental Disorders, there's one diagnosis. That's NPD. That's narcissism itself, right? Narcissistic personality disorder. However, there are 2 recognized types, overt and covert, all right? But there are traits. And communal is the one we're talking about right now. Communal is those fake agency leaders, those fake pastors, those individuals who are frauding. They're putting up a front. They're pretending to be kind-hearted, God-fearing people, and they're not. So beware of these type of people. You don't want to get fooled by them, all right? All right. This is only part 2. I'm coming back. I'm telling you, I'm running my mouth today, y'all. All right? I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.